What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Edgar Berlanga versus Roamer Alexis Angulo, and this was a 10-rounder in the super middleweight division. And this fight was Saturday, June 11th, from the Madison Square Garden Theater in New York City, New York. And this fight was broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or on the ESPN app. And in this fight, Edgar Berlanga was able to get a unanimous decision victory over Roamer Alexis Angulo. So personally, I scored this bout 96 to 94 in favor of Edgar Berlanga. The three judges had this bout very wide, and I did not agree with their scorecards at all. Two judges had this bout 99 to 91, which is just ridiculous, and one judge had it 98 to 92 in favor of Berlanga, which is also very wide. So yeah, this fight was very boring. Not a good fight at all. This is yet another bad performance from Edgar Berlanga. And I'm not going to say, oh, he could grow from this, he could do whatever. I think this is really Edgar Berlanga's max competition that he could beat. Maybe he could beat a couple ranking spots higher, but I think the top 25 to top 20 level is the max that Berlanga could beat. If he goes up against a boxer that's inside the top 15, they will dominate him. If he faces someone like an Andre, a Jesse Hart, someone like that, they would beat him easy, or Daniel Jacobs. So, yeah, I mean, in this fight, it was much different than what I thought. I was thinking that Angulo was actually going to eke out like a split decision victory. I thought it was going to be maybe 5-5, 6-4 on the judges' scorecards, but they had it much wider, which was I think the 9-1 scorecard is disgusting. But yeah, I mean, so in this fight, Angulo had a strong start in the first round, landed some nice shots. I gave him that round. Round two, Berlanga boxed a bit. And in this fight, Berlanga was really running around the ring. And it's not like Berlanga was practicing the sweet science. Like, he's known for that style, fighting on the outside, jabbing and whatnot. But, I mean, he just fought scared. You just could see it in his eyes. He just looked scared. He was really trying to get away from Angulo at any time in the fight, not really engaging much. I mean, he was just landing jabs. I mean, we have to be real. Berlanga wasn't doing much, and Angulo wasn't doing much either. This was just not a good fight at all. So in the first half of the fight, it was actually pretty fun to watch. Round number two, as I mentioned before, Berlanga edged it in my opinion. And then in rounds 3 and 4, I gave them to Angulo, because Angulo was coming forward in those rounds a lot and landing big shots on Berlanga, and I was thinking Berlanga might fade out late, and Angulo could maybe stop him, because after round 3 and 4, Berlanga's nose was bloodied. It looked like his eye was going to swell further, but it stayed the same throughout the fight. But, I mean, that's why I just don't know how the judges could have it 9-1, because Angulo clearly at least won 3-4 or even 1. So comment down below your scorecards for this fight. I thought it was 6-4 for Berlanga. But, yeah, from rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, I gave them all to Edgar Berlanga. Berlanga in those rounds really just jabbed on the outside, did not make any attempt at making a fun fight or anything, or just any attempt at showing some action. And he just wasn't even doing much to even win those rounds by a wide margin. It's just that Angulo wasn't really throwing that much. If Angulo stepped on the gas pedal, he could have won this fight easily. I don't know what he was doing in there. He was just coming forward, but not really doing too much. Or whenever he would throw, it would land. Like, he would land big body shots, big headshots, but I mean, he just would throw one punch at a time as opposed to big explosive combinations on the ropes, and he wasn't even cutting the ring off on Edgar Berlanga, because Berlanga was so easy to cut the ring off on, because he's not a natural boxer, but Angulo just wasn't doing that. He looked very flat-footed in there. Not a good performance from both fighters, in my opinion. Not a good fight. And a big moment, the only really big moment in this fight happened actually in round 7. And Berlanga actually did try and bite Angulo, which is just ridiculous. I don't know why he was super frustrated, but Berlanga and Angulo were in the clinch, and then Berlanga goes in for a big bite out of the neck of Angulo like a vampire. Luckily for Berlanga, the referee didn't see that, because that could have warranted a disqualification, but obviously the fight went on from there. So as I mentioned before, comment down below your thoughts on this fight, your thoughts on the winner. So that goes into the question, what is next for Edgar Berlanga? Now 20-0. This is his fourth straight, or really, this is his third straight disappointing performance. I know his fight against Damon Nicholson went the distance, but he still scored like 4 knockdowns in that fight. But against Kosares, he got dropped, got a close, controversial decision. Or not controversial, just a close decision. Against Steve Rolls, he got a very close and really uneventful decision. And here, yet another uneventful performance. So 3 straight uneventful performances and 4 straight decisions in stepping up in competition. I think it's safe to say that Edgar Berlanga's power is not as what it seems. And I think in his next fight, he might take on someone also around this level, top 20, top 25 in the super middleweight division. If it's a boxer, he'll have a lot of trouble. It might be a 5-5 decision, or it might be 95-95 decision. Could be majority decision, split decision, whatever. But I think in his next fight, he'll take on someone else in this range, top 20 to top 25 in the super middleweight division. He might get a win, might get a controversial win, could get a loss, whatever. I just think he's going to move on from there against a very similar ranked opponent. But as for Roamer Alexis Angulo, taking his third defeat here, I think he's going to have a pretty long layoff before he goes back in the ring again. He might take on some lower ranked opponents before maybe getting called up by like a DAZN, ESPN, whatever, for a big fight. So overall, Edgar Berlanga defeats Roamer Alexis Angulo by unanimous decision in a very, very boring and uneventful fight. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.